Hello and welcome to the third episode of F1 2021 for the Portuguese Grand Prix today in Season 1. If you didn't see the last episode yet, spoiler alert, we crashed after wheel banging with Ricciardo and ended up in P20, I think that is. So definitely 0 points. But today we're here for Portugal and maybe we'll be in for some better chances. At the bottom of the screen right now there's some stream overlay, I forgot to turn that off. I'm sorry, it will be gone on the next scene. Where we're going to start with our activity timeline then, as we're going to focus on doing as much for our teammate and for the team, of course. Not really focusing on departments, because I usually don't really do that. But we are going to do the Fun the Team event then, which is going to improve our departments a little bit, because we don't really have anything other too important to do. But here we are then. We're currently 4th from the bottom in the performance comparison. So could be better, but we're going strong. Of course, we had that podium in the first episode, resulting in 15 points. I think it was? Yeah, 15. So that's Pog. But also, if you remember, we reached acclaim level 5, which brings us to the first sponsor we can get. And I took a couple of looks, and we don't have a rival yet, so I'm not going to sign Selva, even though they have a pretty good and steady weekly income. Instead, a lot of these are very hard to do, because like we have top 12, we have point finishes, like here, 1 constructor's point. I don't think I can do that. But then we have Distort, which is very, very easy to do. And still has a very steady weekly income and goal bonus. It's a cool logo, so we are going to be signing with Distort then. And after a little bit of livery editing, this is what we're going to be with then. The entire livery is now covered in stickers and logos. I just think it looks way cooler like this. Let me know in the comments if you think I should switch something like a color, or switch something with Moon, or switch something with Distort. We're also going to be looking then at some upgrades, because the rear wing main end plane, did fail, so we're going to repurchase that, and that will still be gone before the Portuguese Grand Prix. We got a chassis upgrade, so we are going to buy the improved energy store cells as well, which is going to come in after Spain. So that's going to take a while, but it'll definitely be worth it. And for the engine then, we're going to pay 407 for the spark plugs, which is also going to come in after Spain. And we tried to do a durability upgrade, but we just don't have enough, so we'll have to do that after the first practice session, or in the next episode if I remember. So we look at the progress history then, and Haas actually, surprisingly, is making some really good progress. So I'm thinking maybe Haas can actually be competitive in this season. Maybe they can overtake Alfa Romeo, maybe Williams. Because we're going to go all the way to the top, of course. That's just how my team works. As we see that Red Bull is now sprinting away from Mercedes. But we're looking stronger. We'll get there. We'll go back to the top. As we're going to be buying the fitness center then to improve our teammates a little bit.
To come through, but some of them have
of
failed
course, our
quality
teammate
control.
Jack Aitken is
We'll
not
need to
too
tell the
great,
team what to redevelop
but he
via
deserves
the
all the
R&D
upgrades he
screen.
can
Could you
get.
take a look at this?
And we have
photo,
this
please?
then. But because I just bought that upgrade, I don't have the 50k anymore to
department
boost the
wants me to
chassis
pass on
morale,
their
so I
thanks
just
for
can't,
helping
and I
us.
have to decline this, unfortunately. I would have if I could have, but I literally don't have enough money anymore. I only have 49k, so that's sad. The sound is delayed on this clip, actually, I think.
Our new
Slightly. Oh, that's weird. Okay, anyway.
You'll be on the car.
We're gonna pass through them, we get the upgrade on the weekend itself. And here we are then for the Portuguese Grand Prix. And I actually want to take you through practice 2 real quick. Because we got P10. We got P10, everyone was on soft. So this is looking quite promising. Let's go to the end then like usual. Let's look at our resource points. We get everything and Jack Aitken barely does anything. It's still surprising that it just gets 0 every time. We did get 5 development boosts though, so I'll definitely take those. Because it does of course still save a lot of resource points. So we are going to look at these then again. But yeah, I worry about my teammate. I feel like we need to boost his experience stat a little bit. So maybe like buy a personnel upgrade or something that improves his experience. Because I really need those resource points. But Jack Aitken is just not getting the results we need. So if it stays that way, we might have to replace him halfway through the season already with maybe either a Mazepin or a Schumacher or Russell or someone else lower that we can afford. But he's just not getting us any resource points. So maybe we'll have to look at that. Maybe we'll keep it in the back of our heads. But we are going to get a lot of acclaim then going to level 6 already. And of course at level 10 we get another sponsor. So that'll be something to look forward to. But we're going to go through to Q1 then. As we look at the intro. And I'll see you in the box. Alright, welcome to the box then. Here we are at the start of qualifying, and there's actually some rain forecast for qualifying. It says over the entirety of the qualifying, so I'm not 100% sure when it's gonna come in. We're just gonna get out there on the softs, on the standard setup. And we're going to the end of the lap then, as we are out for Portugal. And I'm not the biggest fan of Portugal. It's definitely a track that I'm not too good at. Of course, it's also relatively new. I've never driven on it before this game, of course. We're gonna come in P6 then, just ahead of Mazepin. As we come back in, we're down to P15. So I'm wondering, do we go out or do we take the risk? And I am gonna take the risk. I am taking the risk of staying in, because the track is getting colder. And as you can see, Nicholas Latifi is the only one going out. Which means that we're definitely through, because even if he does improve, we will still be in P16. And we will still be through. So we do. And because Jack Aitken didn't go out, he is now also out in Q1. But we are through to Q2 then. Together with Antonio Giovinazzi, which is quite surprising actually. So one of the Alfa Romeos making a jump. And here we are then for Q2, and the rain is now on the radar. In 10 minutes, the rain will come. So I think we go out there as fast as possible. We just set a lap, and we may have a chance at getting through to Q3. And indeed, the rain is now already here. It's on the screen. It's definitely raining, and it is slippery out there. I was already struggling. I was already feeling the rain. But if we can just finish this lap, not crash, and just set a normal time without any spins or anything, we have a very, very strong look at getting into Q3. So that's exactly what we're going to try then. We're going to go through this entire lap. We're going to go through this entire rainy lap. And we're just going to see if we can make this. I really hope we can. If we can make it through to Q3, that can be huge for the race. Because of course, there's no 2-1 stop for the people outside of the top 10 or something. And we just got to give it a shot. I mean, what are the odds that we get into the top 10 shootout, right? Very low, especially for a team like us right now. So we are just driving through the rain, and as we go a little wide, the DRS is still active though, so the FIA still thinks that it's not wet enough. Even though I'm definitely feeling the rain. On the back of an Aston Martin, so we might experience a little dirty air, which is going to result in us being just slightly slower. But I genuinely think we can make this. We went out early. We went out when no one else went out yet, except for the Aston Martin and the AlphaTauri behind us, of course. But I don't know. We can make this. We can definitely make this. This is a possibility. And if we can, I'm going to be very happy, that's for sure. It is definitely going to be a wet Q3, though. So we are going to have to drive on Inters then in Portugal, which is pretty hard. But I guess we'll see if we can make it work. I will try my best to make it work. To just get into the top 10 and maybe start 9th, 8th, 7th, I don't know. Probably not higher than 7th, but it's definitely worth a shot. Even as a low team as us, that can be huge for the race. As we come through the final bend then, and we're gonna see if it did pay out to go out early. Across the line, and it's P6, ahead of Stroll actually. He was ahead of us, so that's quite surprising. And back into the box, we're in P7. And that's not gonna change anymore, because the rain is heavy, so we're at the end of the session then. Charles Leclerc leads it. But we are in P7, we are through to the top 10 shootout. This is... I definitely didn't expect this. Lewis Hamilton, Bottas and Verstappen all made it through mediums though, so they're gonna be starting on mediums. But we made it through, and Carlos Sainz had an absolute howler. Ricciardo is not gonna be happy with that one either. They are both out in Q2. And will not be participating in the top 10 shootout, while I am definitely going to participate and give it my best shot. Giovinazzi, of course, in P16 as expected, because he's still in Alfa Romeo. But in Q3 then, we have a fuel system fault. And this might just fuck us over and prevent us from doing another lap. Of course, we already have one used set of inters, because it was also raining one of the qualifying sessions. But yeah, we're going to have to go out just a little later then, because of the fuel system fault. But here we are then at the end of our first lap. Everyone has already set a time, and I slide a little bit because it's raining. I already hate Portugal, but in the rain it's even worse. So we did a little slide, so there's definitely a lot of time to make up for then in the second lap. As we do it again, really. I'm still getting used to it. Practice was already like an hour for me in real time ago. So I was already not used to the wet track anymore. But here we are then into the final bend, as I'm struggling a little bit finding the limits of my gears. Finding just how fast I can go and in which gear. And across the line then, it's going to remain P10. Because it wasn't fast enough. But we are going to go out again then. We have enough time, even though we had a fuel system fault. And here we are then, for one more lap. What can we do? Can we get any more than P10? Possibly P9, P8, P7. I really wish we can. Leclerc in P7 now after leading in the last session, of course. That was just a matter of who got out first. We're right behind Perez. We have a Mercedes behind us, which might just fuck us over, actually. I don't know. It's looking hard, but I guess we'll find out. As we're gonna look through the entirety of this lap. I hope you enjoy this really interesting Q3 lap. And let's see how much we can improve. So even through the hairpin there, then we made a small mistake, but we still gained a lot of time. So I'm not sure whether the track is just drying up or I'm getting better and more used to the rain, but we're already 8/10 up then as we're halfway through the lap. We still got the Mercedes behind us. I don't think he's going to be a problem. I think we're more of a problem to him than he is for us. Perez is also not being that big of an issue as it's now 9/10 up already. 1 second as we're gaining so much time here. And I'm feeling very confident here. What if we can actually get P7, P8, P9? That will be huge for us in the race. Of course, it's very unlikely that we finish there because we're still very much a low field team. We're up to 1.1 seconds now. It's looking very, very promising. And we're getting through this corner with more confidence as well. 1.2, almost 1.3 seconds saved then. Across the line, and it's P8 ahead of Leclerc, who is definitely going to improve. But we're going to be starting in P9, which is huge. Just ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, we're in an AlphaTauri sandwich. But this is huge for us. Let's go to the race, let's go to the grid for the Portuguese Grand Prix.
Has made its way to the southern coast of Portugal this week, and it's preparing for what I expect to be a terrific race here in Portimao. So Portimao features 15 turns over the course of its 2.9-mile length. 9 are right-handers, 6 are to the left. And this is a track with a lot of uphill action, which only accentuates the importance of getting those exits right, especially at turn 4, where a good line can present opportunities to pass on the way into turn 5. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, the Rainmaster and Yuki Tsunoda, Vettel, Sainz, Lance Stroll and Ricciardo, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen and George Russell, Mick Schumacher, Aitken, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
We're still in P9 then, no grid penalties, but can I just mention that Max Verstappen is half a second ahead of P2. Like, even in the rain, this just shows how much of a great driver he is, even on the game, because half a second is a huge gap. Now, we're going to reverse this strategy a little bit. We're going from soft to mediums back to softs. It is going to be a definite 2-stop. Ain't no way we're going to fit a 1-stop in here. So we're going to do it just this way then. It might get a little cloudy towards the end of the race, but it's not supposed to go raining. It could rain at the end, but it's very unlikely. So here we are then at 5 red lights for the Portuguese Grand Prix. And we're underway. We're right behind Alonso. We're slightly slower than Gasly, and we're gonna get a lot of cars around us because we are slow. We are still a low field team. As we try to make our way through, as we almost make contact with Gasly, there's a McLaren around behind. I'm not sure if it's Norris or Ricciardo, but okay, Norris is still here, so it's definitely Ricciardo. We do a little corner cutting to avoid making contact then, as we're now still very much in the AlphaTauri sandwich, as we now also have Norris on the left of us. Into the hairpin as we almost make contact with Tsunoda. That was way too close for comfort. But I don't think we have any damage there. Norris still behind us. Gasly has now fallen behind a little. As we're now going into one of the corners that I hate the absolute most. And we make contact with Norris. Norris is around. This is really not Norris' season. In the first race I think he spun. In the second race he DNF'd in the last lap. He is not having a blast. He is around again. And both the McLarens had an absolute howler. Let's look at a replay then of the start here. Max Verstappen still on pole. It's a nice checkerboard of Red Bull and Mercedes there actually. But we're going to be focusing on me because I forgot to save the replay accidentally. So I don't have a lot of replay cameras and replays. We make contact with the Aston Martin there. And then we saw Ricciardo spin around. I'm not sure how he spun around. I think he made contact with the Aston. I'm not 100% sure. It might have been with the Ferrari as well. But he's around. And because this is a highlight replay, you won't see our sponsors and you will see a weird green logo on the front wing. Try to ignore it, it will be gone for the next episode. But here we are then into the hairpin and going into the weird corner where Norris will then spin around. I'd say that's my mistake. I don't know, he was very aggressive, he was on my inside, but I didn't see him. I didn't give him the space. So I am going to blame myself for that one. On to lap 4 then, Gasly is now going to pass us and we have Sainz on the right as well. 2 cars are just gonna pass us, I guess, because we are way slower than them. But no, we go around actually. We're still fighting Sainz. We're not letting him go. As we give him the room we need. It's some good racing here. We give him all the room he needs. We make it fair racing with the Ferrari, even though he is very much out of our league. The DRS is now active as well, of course, which is definitely gonna help us. And into the hairpin then, he's still there. And we are gonna squeeze him up just a little bit. Just not give him enough space, really. But he is going to be ahead then. He is still in the Ferrari, of course. Can we make a dive? We try to make a dive, but in the end that is actually going to cost us the battle rather than win it. And, I mean, he is in a Ferrari. We do a little bit of slipping because I was just too aggressive and too eager to overtake him. But we're going to let him go then, as now we have Ocon behind. And Sainz still there, but I'm feeling slow. I'm feeling like I have wing damage. So I think, okay, we're just going to go in, as I accidentally alt-tab for a second. But we're gonna go in, because I feel like I have wing damage. I don't know what's going on, but I'm taking the corners just not good enough. Maybe we made some contact with Sainz, maybe we made some contact still with the AlphaTauri on lap 1. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna come in very, very early for the mediums then. We are already on 31%, so it's not too soon, but it's very soon, that's for sure. It's definitely 5 laps sooner. So we are here then, but no new front wing. The team thinks it's still good enough.
Complete, go now.
I swear on the bottom right there, I think I can see that it's light green rather than normal green, but I don't know. I felt like we had damage. The game thinks it's not bad enough, so we are out then again with the same front wing and a new set of mediums, as both the McLarens are behind very much. Of course, they probably both pitted on lap 1. I don't know if they were actually still ahead of us when we got out of the pits. We're on lap 11 now then already, as it's been very boring. But Norris is very much there. He's in the McLaren, he's on the softer compound, and he's probably just a better driver than me in general. So he's going to be looking very, very strong then, as we might be a little slow through that corner. Not my best one. We go slightly wide here, so we're already under pressure somehow. But Norris is definitely going to pass us then. He's so much faster. I don't want to take a battle and risk taking damage or anything, as I also really frick up the hairpin there. Ricciardo is also there, of course, but he's still on 5 seconds, so I don't know if he's going to be any trouble. But Norris is very much pushing it and is very much looking to overtake, as we are going to squeeze up the corner a little bit and try to not make contact with him again as we did on lap 1. He's probably still not too happy about that one. He's going to go around the outside then. It's going to be a very, very clean move. And he can definitely be proud of that one, as Charles Leclerc takes the fastest lap. On to lap 14 then. It's P20 now. Ricciardo has overtaken us. And we have the 2 Alfa Romeos behind us instead. As we are now on 41%, as Jack Aitken is into the pits.
Jack is in the pits.
And
Jack in the
our
pits.
tires are wearing out fast, so here I'm worrying. do I go on another set of softs towards the end of the race, or do I take another set of mediums? Because I'm not sure, but we have Mazepin in the pits then, Aitken in the pits. We've got P16, no, P18, sorry, P18. We're gonna go through them, but it's looking very rough for us. We are in P18 and everyone has pretty much pit by now. So I'm worried. We're on to lap 19 already and we're now in P16 as 2 more people have pit. But we are up way too low. So either, I don't know whether this pit stop just fricked me over or we're still slow because I might have a damaged wing. I don't know. But we're gonna come in then, we're on yellow. And this is the text-to-speech fucking up a little, so I accidentally asked for rifle status and I also asked for the weather report. This one was on purpose. So we are gonna come in. And Jeff says that it is gonna rain. Did he? I don't know, I think he did. I couldn't really hear him because I was talking through it. We're on 63% then, so it's definitely time to come in for a new set of tires then. 13 laps to go, and we are just gonna risk it. We are just gonna go for it. But I don't know how this is going to play out. We're in P21 already. Mazepin is probably going to overtake us. We're going onto a set of softs. No, sorry, mediums. We're on mediums. Oh, okay. I thought we went on softs. We're on mediums. Mazepin is there on the left. He's definitely going to overtake us. We are now in dead last. But we are on fresh mediums, so we could definitely still make some good overtakes. We can make up for this. Probably not get into the points, but as I said, we are still a low field team. We're not supposed to win any races. That third place in the first race was just because of the driver level. But lap 21 then, as we're gonna get overtaken by Max Verstappen, we've got blue flags, Perez is there, and behind is Valtteri Bottas, who has also got the blue flags, of course. We are in dead last, so we're gonna be the first to be lapped. We leave the 2 Red Bulls, we're gonna annoy the Mercedes just a little bit, as I am still, of course, a big Red Bull fan, so I just couldn't help myself. But we can't be there for too long, as we actually made contact with Bottas. I could hear the little bump there. We are going to go slightly wide then and just let him go. Because he's not in our race. I don't want to block him too much. I mean, they wouldn't do it IRL, so I'm not going to do it either. But here we are now. We've got Mazepin ahead of us, and we've got Lewis Hamilton now behind for more blue flags on lap 23. We are definitely going to overtake Mazepin because we're in the better car. We have the better compounds, and I'm definitely a better driver than Mazepin. But we are going to have to let Hamilton go then. Who has now also got the blue flags. Behind there's a big gap, so I don't think we're going to get lapped again. But he is definitely going to come through then. I don't know where I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to do it on the straight. Yeah, I'm definitely doing it on the straight, yeah. Lewis Hamilton is way faster than me. We don't have the engine power or the downforce or the drag reduction or anything. He's going to pass us nice and clean here. And we are into turn 1 then as Hamilton has passed us. But Mazepin is still there. We're going to try to catch up to Mazepin. Because that is a position I really do want. We've got no DNFs yet. I don't want to finish in P22. I'm good. I really just want to overtake him as Mazepin is now getting overtaken by Hamilton. Into the hairpin almost. Through the hairpin. And Mazepin is around! Oh no! We make contact with the Russian! The Russian spins around. I don't know how. He's got a 5-second penalty for that. As I apparently, according to the game, corner cut there and get a 3-second penalty. But we have made contact with Nikita Mazepin. Our bad luck streak just doesn't stop, does it? We got a podium in the first episode. And then we went wheel banging and crashing with Ricciardo in the last one. And now Mazepin is gonna spin us out as he gets blue flagged. I don't know what happened to him, honestly. I don't think that he made contact with the Mercedes. I don't know. I was pissed off here at Mazepin. But he has got a penalty. He's probably got damage because he's very, very slow. So I don't know what exactly happened, but let's look at a replay then. We got some epic music playing now, actually. But here we are then in the hairpin. He is nowhere near Lewis, really, but he just either, I think he gets on the throttle way too fast and just spins around the car and takes us with him. It's barely any contact. It's so weird, honestly. I thought I passed him, but I think I just steered into the left a little bit too soon. Which is why I made contact with him. I don't have any damage, luckily, because he hit me on my rear left tire. Which either breaks off or just doesn't take damage. So we are good then. But on lap 28, we've still got our 3-second penalty. And I'm thinking, well, our race is already fucked. We've got a 43-second gap. What if I just go on the softs and try to snatch the fastest lap? I won't get the point, but at least I'll have it in my statistics. So I'm like, sure, I'll just do it. We've got the 44-second gap, we've got the room. The race is going to end on lap 32, of course, because we've been lapped, so we're just going to come in on lap 30 then, lap 29 onto 30 technically. We're gonna go to softs, we're gonna set the fastest lap in lap 31. And we'll just see. We'll see what happens as we're gonna get lapped by a lot more cars. So this is gonna save us some trouble as well. So we are gonna come out of no man's land then, and we'll have just the room we need to maybe set this fastest lap. I don't know if we can. We are in a low fuel team, but my fuel tank is empty. The last fastest lap was set, I don't know when, but a while ago. So I'm thinking, well, we might be able to make this, right? As Tsunoda just barely passes us, but we are now in no man's land very much. And lap 31 then, we are very much pushing for this lap. We are very much going for it. As we do grab a little bit of curb and yellow breads there. So that might cost us a little bit of time. But we're here, and we're gonna try. We're using all the ERS we got, we're using all the throttle. We have green in sector 1, obviously. That was to be expected. But it's not purple, it's not the fastest. And I really hope we can make this lap. But if we don't get purple in the oh no! Lando Norris is out! Lando Norris is out again! His bad luck streak just doesn't stop. He is just DNFing all around the place. It is a nightmare season for Lando Norris thus far. He is just not having a blast. I feel sad for him, really. I'm a big fan of Norris. He is a really cool guy. He's so cool. He's nice. He's a good driver. He deserves more, but he is not having a good time here. It's also kind of my fault, because I did spin him out, of course, early in the race, but he is now suffering from an engine failure, and it is not going his way. But we are on 2 greens then, as we're almost across the line. Can we make this as we go into the last lap? And it's 1.5 seconds gained on our own time, but it's unfortunately just no purple. As we're now into the last bend then, onto the last lap. Max Verstappen has come through to win the race. We are now in P20, as Norris, of course, DNF'd, and Mazepin is still behind us. But we are not having a good time. We have got 3rd in the first race, but have got 2 crashes in the last 2 races. It is not going our way anymore. Is this the karma we needed? I don't know. I hope it stops next episode, but I guess we'll see. As Carlos Sainz gets driver of the day. He apparently did something very impressive. I don't know. We'll have to see. But let's go to the podium.
It's a performance that our Portuguese Grand Prix winners can be justifiably proud of. And I'm sure there'll be celebrations tonight. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
He's done it then. Max Verstappen back on the top step. Perez P2 and Lewis Hamilton in P3 in the end. He did overtake his teammates. Probably team orders, if I'm gonna be honest. But here we are then. Valtteri Bottas does get the fastest lap, so he does get that bonus point. And Carlos Sainz went from P12 to P6, which is why he got driver of the day. Is it really that impressive? I don't know, because he is of course one of the top teams. But yeah, the game is just a little wonky on driver of the day picking. Mick Schumacher is actually in P17, which is a pretty good result for him. We of course did get the 3-second penalty in the end. But it doesn't move us anywhere because Mazepin was 20 seconds behind, Norris had DNF'd, so we are still in P20 then, very much. Let's look at the standings then. We go down all the way to P8 now, as we still got those 15 points from the first race, of course. We are just going to keep dropping, I assume, for the rest of the season. We go to P6 in the Constructors then, as we get overtaken by Alpine, as Red Bull is now leading by 23 points in the championship. They are doing so well, as we go to the acclaim real quick. And this is the end of another episode then. No level 7 yet, so I don't know when we'll reach level 10. Probably in like 3 races or something. But we do get the plus 120k from this store, which is really going to help us. So I'm glad we got that sponsor. And we're going to get 50k base payout. But I'm going to thank you for watching then. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. Be there for the next episode. And I'll see you. By then. Ciao.